care translates into great anything. When you have caring and attention and intention that's good into something, it will grow. It will expand. It will bring you to new heights that you didn't think were possible. So when you take something like a cannabis plant, it can be any plant actually, an herb, you take your seeds, you take the care to pop the seeds, right, and plant them, and now you're watering them daily, you're feeding them and nurturing them, and as you give this love and caring, they grow. And that growth is invaluable, and it just keeps expanding, and the care expands, and the medicine is much improved from what it would have been in the beginning. It's like anything. It's like a child. You know, when you have a baby, if you leave it unnurtured and unloved, you're going to have a different result than a baby that is nurtured and cared for. So we see this in the medicines that are so popular and work so well because the intention, the love, and the caring is so ever present.
We're here.
Yeah.
In Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early every morning, huh?
It's early every morning. Every morning.
Where do we go?
To Cotton Plant, Arkansas.
You know, I call it corporate cannabis, and I've worked hard at reconciling how I feel about that term. You know that investors are going to look at cannabis and come in and not be cannabis people. I think it's caring, ultimately. You know, my growers still walk our bays every day, and they touch every single one of our plants. I just think those types of efforts are what creates that distinction. And in all fairness, like, this is the largest grow I've ever managed. It's massive. It is big.
Welcome to Arkansas.
Oh, welcome to Arkansas. I think for people in my building where cannabis wasn't even in their purview before we got here, or before Bold built, and now that it's something that they love, having you in our building, it's just, I want to say liberating. It's liberating for them. And I'm like the proud little mama bear because, you know, I've been at this for a very long time. And so to watch my people grow, no pun intended, but like grow into the roles they've grown into and grow into the care that they've grown into. And, you know, there are so many spaces and places in my building that I don't have to micromanage anymore. And to me, that's success. To me, that's, oh, well, my people got it, you know? And that's a good leader to me, is that if I choose to stay home and work from home and everything still functions at a high level. And Haley and Brady in the mom room is one of those spaces. Like, so many of my spaces are that way, and I think that's a sign of a good leader.
The mom room.
Yeah, and what do you guys do?
We run, so we do all of the clones. We'll cut about 2,000 a week, and then we trim those, we shape them back. Each genetic grows different, so we like to shape each one of them to get them to their best potential that they could be, and then we send them out to veg. It is insane the amount of care and the amount of of detail that you have to pay attention to every little bit of the room. It's not just clones, it's not just watering, it's not just shaping, it's not just moms, it's every little detail of the room that you have to be able to do and to know to look for.
What is it? Does that responsibility feel like a burden? Or
No.
are you guys, like, ready to rise
No,
to
we love it. I love talking about it. I mean, it's my favorite thing to talk about. So getting to talk about it to people who actually care to listen is awesome. Because a lot of people are like, it's weed. Yep, got it. You know, it's just one of those things, and it's not that way at all. It's so, oh my gosh, I get. I love it. But no, I think it's awesome to talk to people about, you know, and open their eyes like we were talking about earlier, because so many people don't know anything about it. Like I said, they just think it's like the people hunched over, you know, trimming weed in a tub. Like, it's insane how different it is versus what we actually thought that it was.
I think I can speak for all of us in terms of cultivation and processing, that we do our very best every single day for the patient. And that trickles down in every single division, including what you might think is so basic as to packaging the finished product, you know, checking its compliance label, QCing it and counting it and making sure that it's accurate. That all matters in the process, even more so when it gets to you, because the chain of command, once it leaves here, goes to the dispensary, and then it's your responsibility if we've messed up. And so it's just, we take that very seriously.
I'm Christy Bjornson. I am the Director of the Alcoholic Beverage Control and Tobacco Control, and this is my office here at the Regulatory Division of DFA. The Regulatory Division is the part of DFA that handles all of the licensing for establishments that sell alcohol, marijuana, tobacco, and then we also have kind of a gaming component as well. So we also do a little bit of work in the casinos and as far as thoroughbred racing goes. So what we do is, if someone gets a license from us to sell marijuana, for instance, there is a set of laws and rules that they have to follow. So our enforcement wing of things kind of serves as the boots on the ground to go listen for complaints or do investigations based on complaints. And when they do that, if we do find that there's a violation of one of our regulations, we have attorneys on staff who can go forward to the ABC board with any kind of issues.
My name is Chip Leibovich. I'm a staff attorney here at the ABC in Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, some of the technical inventory tracking rules that are in place for our marijuana cultivators, dispensaries, processors are quite a bit more substantial than people who work in other retail establishments, people who work in other manufacturing jobs, people who work, you know, just for example, we have like breweries and microbreweries and distilleries. We have all sorts of manufacturing permits on the alcohol side. But the degree of regulation that goes into a medical marijuana facility is so much higher. They are subject to so many more inspections. You know, an alcohol permit may or may not have a visit from ABC in any given year. All of our medical marijuana facilities, though, they can expect a visit at least twice a year.
I think the strength of our regulations give credibility to y'all's work. It makes the industry as a whole, if we were relaxed in regulation, it would not give you guys the opportunity to build the reputation I think you've worked on building here in the last 6 years. Because you guys have worked with us on compliance, I think you have done a good job in building that reputation to kind of change the bridge from a stigma that historically presents itself and sometimes still does to now this medical market that is operating fairly and appropriately as legal businesses.
My name is Natalie Leonard. I work at River Valley Relief, and I'm the Director of Compliance for the facility. Compliance is essentially a kind of a broad category. It involves the actual day-to-day actions that are happening within the facility. It also involves the communications of the day-to-day actions to the state, as well as following the regulations that the state has put forth for the actual program itself. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, realistically. The only reason we're even able to have programs like this is because the state and its people have decided that they want us here. So we're not necessarily working against them, we're more so working with them to be able to provide the actual communities with the program that they're wanting to have.
And that's part of, I think, Amendment 98. It's a sort of a social contract, I think of it. The general public is okay with medical marijuana, but there are some rules and some guideposts that we need to operate in order to make everyone satisfied, or as many people, at least the majority, satisfied as well. There are some people on both sides, either prohibitionists or proponents. They'll never be satisfied with anything unless it's an outright ban or outright legal. But I think for most people, they want to see a system where it is regulated, it's transparent, and where it's safe for use.
The goal is clean, quality cannabis. What really helps is ABC's rules and oversight. They are quality control. They come twice a year, if not more, check on us, making sure we're doing right. Every time I learn something new from them to make a better facility.
Everyone who works in a medical marijuana facility here in Arkansas has to get a RIC from us. It is a registry identification card. It looks similar to a patient card, but it is the permit to allow you to work on premise at a dispensary or cultivation site or processing site here in Arkansas. I believe at last count we were at 2,635. So at minimum, over 2,600 jobs created here in the medical marijuana market.
Wow. That means something.
Yes, it does. And I think too, it's a market where we hear a lot of job satisfaction as far as people who work in the industry.
Did you have the same passion for your life before you worked here?
Absolutely not. So the job I had before, I was going nowhere. I wasn't going to go any further than what I was. I was a machine operator. So when I heard that this place was going to open, I seized an opportunity to do something new, do something better. I read their mission, and I was all about that, and I just wanted to do some good. So when I came here with that, I just set out to be the best I can be here. I'm learning every day. I'm growing every day. I have been here for 3 years. I started in December of 2021, and I now run this facility.
And what do you do here?
I am the director of operations.
What does that mean?
So I oversee our daily activities here at River Valley Relief. Everything post-harvest that happens around this corner, everything that you see in front of you. So that's from trim and pack all the way out the door.
We like to start all new employees in the trim department. It's a fast-paced access to experience, hands-on experience with the flower. But one of the things we do here at RVR is probably 90 to 95% of the flower that we produce is all hand trimmed, and that speaks to craft grade cannabis.
One of my favorite things is seeing these girls first thing in the morning. They are absolutely touching lights. No pun intended, but leaves are typically praying, facing straight up. They're just really beautiful. And so being crafty is really being able to be hands-on and being able to be attention to detail and being able to really, keep these girls happy. And so I really enjoy doing that. It's good. It's very rewarding. The plant rewards you, so I do love it.
And this is rewarding. Her being able to talk about this, right? Is when she first came in, she had no idea about these plants, about genetics, about this business, about anything. And this is a proud moment for me to see her to be able to talk about her operation that she's been given in her room and see her talk about it professionally. And that's a win for me. So
yeah, it's been very rewarding. I remember starting out unloading crates. I mean, we were still under construction and just unload this crate and then reload this crate and do this, and it never made any sense. It really didn't. I was just there, I was doing it, and I was trusting the process, but it didn't make sense. And then we got the whole thing built, and we got in here, and I really got to dive into it. And luckily, working here is really enjoyable as far as you can really dive in. We're able to be our own creative in each of our areas while also kind of sticking to one baseline idea.
When we talk about genetics in apples, right? We have Granny Smith, we have Gala, we have over 29 different varieties of genetics in apples. When we talk about the cannabis plant, as a whole, it's in the cannabis family, but each one of these strains that have a different name come from a different genetic profile, right? For instance, our award-winning banjo strain, #1 sativa in the state, this particular genetic was made by crossing Boost and Tangelo. So we take two different plants, breed them together, and create what we have is a genetic that we named Banjo. This is a local Arkansas strain that is a super sativa, and it's actually one of our only sativas that we run here at River Valley Relief.
When I say there have been blood, sweat, and tears, I mean that. Personally, I have bled numerous times. I've cried. I have a crying corner in my room, just in case. And it's frustrating, but so rewarding to really be able to do that. And I think when you're in a business aspect, you lose that. You lose that sense of individuality between each of these plants. It's just one huge process, and that's very understandable for the market. I get it, I understand it, but I really think what we all want is something more personal. When you go to your local dispensary and you pick up a jar of any of our strains, I've personally held that. I can look at everyone who's personally touched that and felt that and watered that. They pulled leaves off of that. You know, they cut that down for harvest. All of this, they planted it. I mean, it's a really beautiful process that when you do, you know, go with any of these craft style, you know, products, really, you're getting not only that product in itself, but you're getting all of the team members' love and support and everything with that.
In cultivation, you know, science is a huge part. But as I've grown in this industry, and as I've learned on the way that intuition is half of that. You know, science and intuition, finding that balance where you can use both to figure out where the problems are, what the problems are, and how to fix the problems. A lot of the stuff that I do personally is based off of the things I feel and the intuition that comes to me. Sometimes in dreams, you know, I have dreams about things that occur in the rooms, and the next day I get to work and those things are occurring. And it's like I've already had that on my mind, so then it becomes almost like a problem solved before I even know it's a problem. I view them as living entities. They have souls, they're all unique, they're all individuals, and I respect that and I understand that. And so we cater to that. So, and I feel like they appreciate that. You know, they're also different. They all require different things. Different strains like different things, and being able to dial that in and understand not only just them as plants as wholes, but then to dial it in deeper to understand what each strain requires or desires is a huge part of this job that I love.
Cannabis can help you a lot. And now that we're in a society that has grown more accepting and open of it, the stigma is just getting better and better and better. Now, just don't be afraid. That is the biggest thing. You just give us a call and just say, hey, I'm a little scared about getting into medical cannabis. Help me feel a little bit better about it. I'll help you feel a little bit better about it. Because at the end of the day, I was scared when I first got into this too. But I did it, and I have to say, I don't regret a day since. It's been knowing what I like, what I need to smoke, and what I need to partake in, and things like that on a daily basis in order for me to be the best human I can be. Required a lot of personal research, but it was worth it. And that's the cool thing about a lot of the medical cannabis market is that there's thousands of products that can help you in so many different ways. I mean, from topicals, if you're not looking to get any of a psychoactive high that THC provides, topicals help that. Topicals help you just deal with your pain. without feeling that, without feeling, psychoactive, without feeling that high feeling, But if you want to feel that high feeling, there's plenty of options for that too. But you name the condition, I'm sure there's something around here that we can help you with.
So we have a closed market here in Arkansas. We have, I think, around 55 licensed medical marijuana facilities. Those are cultivators, processors, and dispensaries. We make sure that all of our dispensaries are spread out across the state by zone. That's in an effort to make sure that all patients have access to medical products that they need. So I was a prosecutor here in Little Rock for a while, handled gang crimes, domestic violence, and sexual assault. This is totally different from that. Obviously, there were cases where marijuana showed up, but it was never something that was the primary focus of my day. So moving over to this side of things, I have learned a ton of stuff I didn't know. There's always fun and interesting discussions. The rest of DFA does taxes. And so we like to at least get to have some exciting fact scenarios over here in our office. And I think everybody's curious about cannabis right now. It's a new thing nationwide. New products are popping up every day. I do a lot of presentations and I shock people when I mention Shake Extraction's booty bullets. They surprise everyone because people don't really expect, me to bring that up, but I come from the courtroom, and so I'm not really shy in what I say. But also, I want people to see the expansiveness of the industry and just kind of learn about it, because I think everyone's curious. So the more people learn about it, the better it's going to be, both for a regulatory framework, explaining that to the legislature, but also for the industry and following the guidelines.
A COA is a certificate of analysis. And so if it's in your hands, you can assume it passed all the state regulations. Otherwise, the dispensary would not be able to sell it to you. So what's important for you to look at? What you need to look at is not only THC levels, and that's what a lot of patients tend to look at. Not only THC levels, you want to look at the other cannabinoids that are present, things such as CBD, the total amount of cannabinoids that are present, CBN, those will put you to sleep, different things like that. Terpene analysis is important. If you can visually see on the side what the primary terpenes are in the analysis, it makes it easier for you to say, this product will work for me, or this product might not work as well.
Here we've got critical, grown by natural state. It's really high in myrcene. Myrcene is what you're going to want to look at when you have sleep issues. The percentage that you like to look at is 0.5. Anything above 0.5 is going to give you that couch log, that indica in the couch feel that you're going to look for in most indicas. It's got really beautiful orange hairs. It's got a good contrast with the green. They do a really good job on all their flowers. Got a really good bud structure. They break down really well. They're never too dry, never too wet or moist. They do a really good job curing, cutting, drying in natural state for their flowers. So
essentially, curing is a form of drying. You are releasing moisture, specifically cannabis moisture. It dries from like the inside out, so you can't do it too quickly or too slowly, because from that point you could risk affecting the overall product. Like you can dry anything. Like we could put this all like in an oven and we could dry it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be like cured effectively, right? So that's when it really turns into the make or break stage. And from that point, we really like to, coddle it, if you will.
We're one of the few independent dispensaries left in the state, and we really focus on not just the quality of the product, what the people that we're getting the product stand for. We want to work with people that want the same things that we want, and we like being a part of the community. We like making sure that the product, the medicine that we have that goes out is good,
Hey, and I'm gonna DJ my Jamaican style. Okay, because I just love it. Well done, 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 done. Well done, 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 done. Well done, done, done. Hands up in the air and me say kick your knee up. Problems all around, but we have to free up. No matter how much good you do, them still a pre us. But hold your meditation, cause you know say we enough. So get up, stand up, get up, stand up, sun up on your face. Come and join in happiness, it's never too late. People make this world go round. Everybody is the same when the sun goes down.
I have now been upwards of 6 years seizure-free. Island time. No, actually, edibles are a huge thing.
Are a little different, right?
Yes, just the whole processing of it in your system, like it totally activates different things. And I can remember the moment that I realized that I was getting help from cannabis. I had a friend who, rest her soul, Diane, she was a photographer from Florida, and she shared some cookies with me that she knew that I had seizures. And I met her while I used to tour with an artist called Luciano, and I think I had a seizure at a show, and she was there. And after that, like, she took an interest in me, and she asked me to try some of her cookies. And it was night and day. I'm just saying, it was night and day. I was able to have mental clarity. I did not have that with my medications. And that was one of the main things that I felt like it was holding me back. Like there was something just holding me back because I did not have mental clarity. And cannabis was able to, show me that I could maintain my illness without that cloud, just this big cloud you're walking around with every day. So thank you, Diane.
In the beginning, gummies were gummies. We didn't really understand the potential that they had until we started digging into the ingredients and realized we could make something better than a lot of, these cookie cutter gummy recipes that float around in the cannabis industry. And so we challenged ourselves to dial each one in to something better and change our process to make it our own, and really take ownership of the product that we put so much extra time and energy, planning and thought into. Well, the reason it is so much more complex today as opposed to when we started is because of Shelly. She had this idea of an island time gummy that reflected fruits from where you were raised, Jamaica.
Yes.
And so me being a nerd and working with Shelly, I started researching indigenous fruits and what flavors sounded right to Shelly based on that. And it was something with far more nuanced flavors in the blend and with an effect and kind of vibe or concept in mind.
Exactly. And it was important to me, just growing up in the Rastafarian faith, and we believe in the more natural stuff. So it was so important, if we're going to present something to our patients, that we got rid of all the dyes and the artificial flavors and all the bad stuff. That we had faith in our patients that they would trust us, and they love it.
Round the world, live on an island time, feel the vibe, it's so nice.
I believe in 2024, it was over $275 million worth of sales. So this is a very much so growing industry, and $31 million in tax revenue to the state.
Everyone brings up Oklahoma by way of example, but very few people bring up Illinois and New Jersey and New York. I mean, we don't have the lowest prices in the nation, but we definitely don't have the highest. And in fact, I think we have something like the fourth lowest in the nation.
It is balance. Every single thing we do is balance. It's balancing what patients want to buy, what the law allows. It's balancing relationships of, I've got the industry at a panel why are you guys so scary? Why are y'all so tough? And then I've got the legislature over at the Capitol saying, are you guys being too easy on these guys? Or do we have enough regulations? So really every single thing we do in this office is a balance. I oftentimes am middleman being pulled two different ways, which is fun because it's challenging and fun for me to kind of find where's that fair level? Where is the balance? Where is the fairness for both parties involved?
That legislative battle never ends, right? We keep, it's like ebbs and flows, like they'll get an initiative, it doesn't pass. A couple of years go by, another initiative, right? So instead of a couple of years going by, even though it's hard work, and people are tired at the end of those things, especially when they lose, right? It's not the time to rest. It's the time to regroup and keep going. And the more that people regroup and keep going and don't let up, don't give a chance for that sunlight to come in between and a different day to start, right? We have to keep pressing forward.
Sometimes I think it's a voter issue, and sometimes I think it's an industry issue as far as organizing and strategically picking the right time to ask for something. But I think, too, it's a product that's historically illegal, and sometimes Arkansas just needs little baby steps. So maybe this is a step, but maybe this is the end point for Arkansas. It's really, honestly, too hard to tell. So many things could change.
I think there's a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect because today you can go on PubMed and look up scientific articles about the efficacy of cannabis for many different ailments and diseases. So, I think they're bringing together the science, the mind, the heart, the intuition, the higher self, all together is really what's necessary. And if we can do that, we can really move forward.
As me roll, me spliff, me have to light it up. Anywhere me touch, me say me vibe it up. Take a boom draw, release the cloud. Nobody take me simple, we a high grade crowd. You say me high, but this a level it normal. Never coming down, cause this level it crucial. Open sesame, discovering our potential. Soul searching, essential. Sativa, sensei, oh yes, marijuana. The big up ganja man, the big up ganja farmers. Marijuana. It's recreation, medication, meditation, good vibration, elevation. Used by all nations are where we came from. So pass the goji with this strong, strong, strong. No need to worry if it's just become a journey after Sensimelia. Me have to blaze because me love the way me mentals feel after weed, yeah.